Have you ever wondered why some people light up a room without saying a word, while others fade into the background no matter how hard they try? The secret lies in the power of presence, not in what you say or do, but in the subtle magnetic energy you bring into every moment. Presence begins within. It's not about being the loudest voice or commanding the most attention. It's about how you perceive yourself and the quiet confidence that radiates from knowing your worth. Ask yourself, when you walk into a room, how do you want others to feel in your presence? This self-awareness is the foundation of presence, and it shapes the way others respond to you. Think of presence as a ripple cast across still water. Every action, every word, every glance sends out waves that touch the people around you. But here's the key: not all ripples linger. Presence that feels rushed, forced, or inauthentic fades quickly, like a drop lost in the chaos of a storm. On the other hand, presence that is steady, intentional, and deeply felt leaves a lasting impression, a ripple that grows long after you've left. So how do you create these ripples? Start by truly seeing the people in front of you. Look them in the eye, not just as a social courtesy, but as a way of saying, I see you, I hear you, you matter. Carry yourself with an openness that invites connection and a steadiness that reassures others. And most importantly, leave behind an impression of warmth, care, and authenticity. Presence is not about performing or pretending. It's about being. It's about bringing your full, unfiltered self into every interaction. Because at the end of the day, people won't remember every word you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And that feeling, that's the ripple. So, let me ask you, what kind of ripple will you leave behind? Say it with me. I'm a magnet. My presence creates ripples that linger. Write it down on a piece of paper or in the comments below and claim your power. Have you ever met someone who made you feel like the only person in the world? It wasn't what they said, but how they said it. It wasn't their words, but the way they looked at you, the way they listened, and the way they made you feel truly seen. This is the psychology of presence, and it's built not on grand gestures, but on small, powerful actions. Let's start with one of the simplest yet most profound tools: eye contact. When you meet someone's gaze with intention, it's more than a glance, it's a connection. A steady, warm gaze says, I see you, and I'm here with you. But here's the subtlety. Too much can feel intense and too little can seem dismissive. The key is balance. Let your eyes linger just long enough to convey your focus and interest, then allow the connection to breathe. Next comes the art of listening. True listening isn't about waiting for your turn to speak. It's about giving someone your full attention. It's about hearing not just their words, but the emotions behind them. When you nod thoughtfully, ask a follow-up question, or repeat back what you've heard, you're showing them something rare in today's world: genuine interest, and that's unforgettable. Then there's silence. Many people rush to fill every pause, fearing the awkwardness of quiet. But deliberate silence isn't awkward, it's powerful. It allows your words to settle, giving them weight and significance. It invites the other person to reflect, to lean in, and to engage more deeply. Used wisely, a pause can say more than words ever could. Now, what if you're shy or introverted? Can you still have presence? The answer is a resounding yes. In fact, introverts often excel at the subtleties that make presence so magnetic. Your ability to observe, to listen deeply, and to connect one-on-one is a strength, not a limitation. Presence isn't about being the loudest voice in the room, it's about being the most grounded. So how do you begin? Start small. Today, when you're in a conversation, hold their gaze a little longer. Listen not to respond, but to understand. And when the moment calls for it, let the silence linger. These small actions, practiced with intention, will create connections that are not just noticed, but remembered. Let's affirm this together. I am present. My small actions create lasting connections. Write it down on a piece of paper or in the comments below, and take the first step toward mastering the psychology of presence. What makes you unforgettable? Maybe it's the way you can calm a storm with just a few words. Maybe it's your boundless curiosity that sparks excitement in every conversation. Or perhaps it's your sense of humor that makes people feel lighter just by being around you. These aren't just traits, they're your unique strengths, the foundation of your magnetism. But here's the challenge. Many people don't know their strengths. They dismiss what makes them extraordinary because it feels ordinary to them. So, let's uncover what makes you unforgettable. Think about this. What do people often compliment you on? What moments make you feel most alive? Or, if you're unsure, ask someone close to you, what do you think makes me stand out? You might be surprised by what they see in you. Once you recognize your strengths, the next step is to amplify them, not by bragging, but by allowing them to shine through your actions. Let's take empathy as an example. It's not about announcing that you're empathetic, it's about making people feel deeply understood. When someone shares something with you, don't just respond with words, reflect their emotions, acknowledge their experience, and show them that you truly care. If curiosity is your strength, let it guide your interaction. Ask questions that others overlook, questions that make people pause and think. Not the surface level kind, but ones that invite depth. For instance, instead of asking, "How was your day?" try, "What's been the most exciting part of your week? And what about humor?" If your strength is making people laugh, use it wisely. Humor isn't just about jokes, it's about breaking tension, creating warmth, and bringing lightness into serious moments. It's a way of showing people that you see the joy in life, even in small things. Here's the key. Amplifying your strengths doesn't mean shouting them out loud. It's about weaving them into your everyday interactions so naturally that people are drawn to them without even realizing why. When you lean into what makes you unique, you don't just stand out. You become unforgettable. Now let's affirm this together. I am a magnet. My unique strengths make me unforgettable. Write this down on a piece of paper or in the comments below and own the power of what makes you extraordinary. Think back to the last time someone left a lasting impression on you. Was it something they said? The way they looked at you? Or maybe it was a question, a compliment, or a moment of silence that stayed with you, replaying in your mind long after they were gone. That's the art of leaving traces, not trails. Most people try too hard to be remembered. They overshare, dominate conversations, or seek attention in ways that overwhelm. But true magnetism lies in subtlety. It's not about leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for others to follow. It's about leaving a single lasting trace that lingers in their thoughts, quietly drawing them back to you. So how do you leave a trace? Start with intention. Think of your words and actions as seeds. When you plant them with care, they grow over time, taking root in someone's mind. For example, instead of giving a generic compliment, make it specific and thoughtful. The way you explain things makes everything feel so clear. It's inspiring. A compliment like that isn't just flattering. It resonates, it lingers, or leave behind a question they can't easily answer. Something like, "What's one dream you haven't shared with anyone?" Questions like this stay with people because they invite introspection and connection. They're not just about you, they're about helping the other person discover something meaningful about themselves. And then there's the power of silence. In a world that's constantly noisy, silence is magnetic. It's in the way you pause after saying something impactful, letting your words settle. It's in the moments you step back, creating space for someone to reflect on what you've left behind. Silence, when used deliberately, isn't emptiness. It's an echo that grows stronger the longer it lingers. But let me be clear, leaving traces isn't about playing games. It's not about manipulation or withholding who you are. It's about creating moments of authenticity so meaningful that they stay with others long after you've left. Now think about this. What kind of traces do you want to leave behind? Say it with me. I leave traces that linger long after I'm gone. Write it down on a piece of paper or the comments below and let your presence become unforgettable.